Is the Honourable Minister trying to make me believe, and the House believe, and the nation believe, that he has not taken any cognizance of the communiqué under the with the arms of the Republic of Mauritius, under the letterhead of the Minister of Housing and Lands, Office of the Vice Prime Minister? He has not. He's trying to make me believe that he has not seen this communiqué.
Madam Speaker, as soon as the communiqué was released and there was a confusion in the world affairs, the ministry did what had to be done.
So are you telling us that this communiqué exists and it was sent from the Ministry of Housing and Lands, Office of the Vice Prime Minister? Yes or no?
Once we were aware that the communiqué had been issued and there was a confusion, we did what had to be done at the level of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Speaker, the Minister is confirming that this communiqué is a genuine communiqué, and he has taken note of it and tried to repair whatever damage has been caused by this. Why then did the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through its High Commission in Pretoria, send an accompanying note to the Republic of Qatar, its embassy in Johannesburg, and I quote, saying that the news that it has broken off diplomatic relations with the state of Qatar based on false and fake allegations? Why then? I'm sure you must have this copy, although I understand that you are replacing your colleague, but nevertheless, this is an official, it is step, Madam, you will see. Which is which? Are you giving us now a different information to what the ministry has given to the state of Qatar? Which one is untrue?
The ministry has, my colleague, I talked to him, he has sent a communiqué to the foreign minister of Qatar, establishing things. Qatar, yes, establishing things. And there was, as I said, there was a confusion on the international scene, and we established the communiqué. There is one official communiqué, Madam Speaker, this is the communiqué on the 6th, which was published on the 6th of June.
The Honourable Minister is confirming the existence of this communiqué, which is on the 5th of June from the Office of the Vice Prime Minister. Let me say that this communiqué accuses Qatar of involvement with regards to regional terrorism. I will, just for the record, I will table this. Just for the record, when and if a statement has been made to the police regarding this communiqué or any false or falsified version of that communiqué?
No, Madam Speaker.
So no, there is a communiqué which the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, saying there's a false communiqué, but here in Mauritius, nothing has been, nothing has been said to the police, no internal inquiry, nothing, Madam Speaker. This is the proof. Will the Minister agree that we now have officially in Mauritius a banana republic? We should change our coat of arms and put a big banana.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, there was a situation on the international scene where the name of Mauritius was mentioned. What was the priority of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Was to clear the matter, and this was what was done by an official communiqué on the day after, that is on the 6th. This was done in all our high commissions and in all our consulates. This was done also at the level of in New York, at the level of the General Assembly, where our official representative, Ambassador Kunjal, went to see his counterpart from Qatar a number of times to clear the air and to explain that if there was any misunderstanding, that all the clarifications have been given, Madam Speaker.
Banana Republic officially confirmed. Madam Speaker, I'd like to ask the Honourable Minister whether he is aware who is leading the embargo on Qatar. Who is leading this embargo, which is joined by 6 of 7 countries? Who is leading? If it is none other than Prince Salman, now Crown Prince Salman, provider of private jets when ministers are sick overseas.
Sudan, Honorable Sudan, please. Honorable Sudan, please.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is speaking about the trend that international affairs is taking. Mauritius has nothing to do in that.
Madam Speaker, this is obviously some kind of conspiracy, because a few hours after the issue of the famous communique, which now the whole of Mauritius knows exists and existed, Saudi Airlines tweeted, we are all into tweets now, as you know, tweeted, Saudi plans to expand service to Mauritius to major tourist destinations by introducing new flights to Mauritius. Is he aware, Madam Speaker, of this tweet by Saudi?
You know, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition has been Minister of Tourism and External Affairs and External Communication. When it comes to connecting flights between one state to the other, you have a procedure. It's not on Twitter.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, even Donald Trump, President of the United States, tweets. Obviously, he doesn't read the important tweets. Now, Madam Speaker, let me say this. You can take it as funny, but now we'll deal with the employees, the people working there in a moment. You can laugh at the stupidity. Because it is a stupidity what you have done. Now, concerning, I understand that you have written and lied, in fact, to Qatar to say that it didn't exist. What about, but there are other countries involved in this, because it's a coalition of a few countries against another few countries, and Mauritius has got engulfed, if that is the right word, in this imbroglio. Iran, which is indirectly targeted by this embargo. Turkey, which has a base in Qatar. What have you done towards these two countries in particular to show that this communique was from a second unofficial Minister of Foreign Affairs?
What has to be done on the world scene, on all the forums, at the level of the High Commissions, at the level of embassies, at the level of consulates, and at the level of the General Assembly at the United Nations in New York? I have had a conversation with Ambassador Kunjal, and he has gone to see each and every state during this, when we have this, we were canvassing for the vote of the Chagos. He has cleared the air with all these states, and he has told me personally that the air, there is no cloud. This is what he told me. He said, Ambassador Kunjal has reassured us in the light of the meetings with his counterpart that the situation has now been cleared. There is no cloud in the relations between Mauritius and Qatar.
Can you, just to mention, is the Honourable Minister aware that none of these countries supported Mauritius at the UN? If all had been cleared, neither Iran, no Qatar, no Turkey supported Mauritius, and that is a fact. Madam Speaker, Mauritius.
More than this side, please. Allow
I second.
Please, Honorable Sudan, I'm calling you several times. Please don't cross talk, because this will bring disorder in the House.
Is the Minister aware that Honourable Sudan has been persistently involving Mauritius in the worst Middle East crisis since the Gulf, and one which Mauritius has no business whatsoever, and which most of the countries of the world are avoiding, like La Peste. When the Honourable Vice Prime Minister went to attend the military exercise, no thunder. This is his, I leave it here, Madam Speaker, with you, what he declared. Attacking Iran, saying that he will stand firmly by Saudi Arabia to silence Iran, which has been involved in sectarian ideology. Madam Speaker, what can the Honourable Minister of External Affairs tell us? What on earth as Mauritius, who has always had diplomatic neutrality and kept friends with every single country of the world, what on earth is Mauritius doing in a fight between countries, Arab countries in the Gulf? What on earth are we doing there?
You are right. It's none of our business to be there. We are in the eye of the cyclone. Madam Speaker, as regards to the vote at the United Nations regarding the Chagos Archipelago issue, 6 Middle Eastern countries voted for. 5 abstained, but none voted against Mauritius. Which means...
Honorable Sudan. Now, Honorable Sudan, I'm drawing your attention. Don't make provocations. Please.
Against, Madam Speaker, which means that none voted against a resolution which was fought by the United States and the UK. In no uncertain terms, Madam Speaker. As regards to the position of Mauritius in the international scene as relating to any issue, any struggle, I am mentioning again that the official voice of Mauritius, as explained in that communique of the 6, relates to the head of government and to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Also, no minister, whether the Honourable Prime Minister should not at least phone. I don't know, I think you have tried to phone Qatar, they wouldn't take the call. That's what I understand. Now, they refuse to take your call, or the call of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. But perhaps the Honourable Prime Minister can try and contact his counterpart in Iran, in Turkey. And I will remind the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs that Turkish Airlines, brings thousands upon thousands of tourists to Mauritius, up to 5 flights a week. I'd like to make a request that the Honourable Prime Minister picks up his phone and arranges for conference calls with all his counterparts after the mess that has been created in our international reputation by Noble Sudan.
Madam Speaker,
I have told you several times not to make provocations and not to cross-talk with anybody on this side of the House. And this is the last time I'm drawing your attention to this, please.
To establish and to consolidate the karat of Mauritius, Madam Speaker, on the international scene, what has to be done will be done by the Prime Minister, by the Foreign Minister, and by all the members of government.
I would like to also know, Minister of Foreign Affairs, when there were reports that our troops, God knows if we have troops, but our troops took part in North Ender exercise in Saudi Arabia, did the Ministry of Foreign Affairs think it fit to issue some sort of communique? Because I think you are very lazy in terms of communique. Did we issue a communique to say that we had no troops, and we did not have any troops in Saudi Arabia to take part in any maneuvers?
But we have no army, Madam Speaker. We had no troops anywhere.
You think everybody knows that you have no army?
Yes.
Do you think so? Okay. Now, very good. Maybe you should tweet it. Madam Speaker, I'd like to ask now about the hundreds of Mauritians working in Qatar. There are, I think, 366 from my information. I don't know how many in Turkey. I don't know how many in Iran. All these are potentially in danger if the Honourable Sudan is let loose with his communiques. Some of them may even be taken as spies for Saudi Arabia or whatever. What are you going to do to protect them and ensure for their well-being? And if necessary, if this sort of rubbish continues, you may even have to take them out of the country upon half a day's notice.
Madam Speaker, every Mauritian working anywhere else in the world deserves that the nation stands by his side whenever there is any issue or any problem. I have had a request made to the Minister of Employment as regards to those who are from Qatar, those Mauritians who are in Qatar. I have been told that all the Mauritians who have gone to Qatar on their own. That is, they have not been through any official channel. Some have gone also from Europe and some other places, like people working in hospitals and nurses. I understand the apprehensions of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. What has been done also, I talked to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They have had a number of calls, phone calls from Mauritian nationals about what is happening. And they have been reassured. This we can say. And there has been no formal request for assistance at any of our embassy. But Islamabad, Cairo, everywhere where we have been able, we are monitoring the situation closely. And if action has to be taken to see to it that they are safe, we will do what has to be done, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the acting Minister of Foreign Affairs, can he tell us this famous 7-star hotel that the substantive Minister, Honorable Lashmina Raidu, had announced as coming to, I think, Point de Lascar, of all places. Where is that hotel? It was flashed all over the papers.
Madam Speaker. Yes. We have a Minister of Tourism. I think that should be a specific question as regards to investment in the hotel industry and as regards to that project. What I have been told that there is one hotel in the east of Mauritius which is being refurbished at the cost of $58 million. It is from UAE and not from Saudi. And the other it's a proposed investment. I think if the Honourable Leader of the Opposition asked a specific question to my colleague, the Minister of Tourism, he will be able to provide the right answers.
Yes. Honourable Usman Mawim.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In his original reply, the Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs has stated that the Ministry has written to international media for the sake of correct reporting. Now, can I ask the Honourable Minister whether necessary precaution has been initiated to cover all media? Because if you go on the net, before I came, I did it, and you type on the issue, you get a ridiculous title like "One Government, Two Direction," and this leads to Mauritius, jokingly comparing us to China.
No. Don't make a statement, Honourable Mohammed. There are several MPs who are asking
I'm going to table it.
To ask questions, so please be brief.
Can I ask the Honourable Minister to ensure at the level of the Ministry that all international media be written the facts that he has just stated in Parliament today? Thank you.
The needful will be done. I think that we have to reestablish the facts. And the official communique of the 6th reestablishes the facts. That is the official version of the Mauritian government. As I mentioned, I mentioned that there was a communique which was sent to the Al Jazeera network. There was another which was sent to Le Monde. And from what I understand, the Ministry is closely monitoring the situation for any clarification which need to be done. But I've also been told that following these requests, the references to Mauritius as one of the states having served severe ties with the state of Qatar have been rectified. But whenever anything will crop up, I think we have to do the needful.
Thank
you, Madam Speaker. Is the Honourable Minister aware that only days after the communique from the Minister of Housing, the Honourable Minister was bragging on the internet with journalists that he has been invited in Saudi with pictures taken of the Umrah. So being given that we have a clear case of a minister using his office for gratification, will the government give the assurance that they would not interfere with ICAC if there is a case of corruption?
Yes, I think we have given this assurance in general, Madam Speaker.
To resume.
You want?
Yes, thank you.
No,
Madam Speaker, I would like to ask the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs whether Mauritius in any way subscribes to the demands of Saudi Arabia and company concerning the 13 demands, which I'm sure you have taken note of, one of which is that the Turkish military should be expelled from Qatar, and the second one is that Al Jazeera news network, which many Mauritians look at in Mauritius, should be closed down, given that the VPM had stated officially in his press conference in Saudi Arabia that Mauritius backs Saudi Arabia all the way, and that is full stop.
I'm going to read what I said in my opening statement, Madam Speaker. I said that the guiding principles of the foreign policy of Mauritius since independence, based on peaceful coexistence and respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, and a strict adherence to the principle of non-alignment in the conduct of international affairs, and our commitment to peace. I don't think that we adhere to all this.
Minister confirmed that there still exists a cabinet of ministers and that there's only one policy for Mauritius. Not each of the 25 ministers here and the PPS will issue communiques left, right and center, taking their own stand. Is there in this Banana Republic a cabinet of ministers, or is it la Cour du Roi Péto nowadays?
Madam Speaker, we are not a banana republic. I think that the wonderful work which was done in New York establishes the character of Mauritius on the international scene, because the United Nations General Assembly is the most powerful international platform on the planet. And this is where we, the Honourable Minister Mentor, succeeded so brilliantly to push forward a resolution against two of the most powerful, the UK and the US, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I have a question, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I only have 2 minutes. I'm not giving away. You have stated this is mine. I'm not giving away, Madam Speaker. I'm sorry about it. Madam Speaker, I'd like to ask the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Leader of Opposition, I'll come back to you, but since I had already given the floor to Honourable Ratna, and you said that you had a question, I have given you the floor. No, it's up. No, Honourable Leader of Opposition, please sit down. Honourable Leader of Opposition, you can't. But no, it's not a question of giving way, Honourable Leader of Opposition. Please sit down. It's not a question of giving way. It's a question of whom I gave the floor. And it's for the, it's for the Speaker. Now, you are taking my prerogative. You are taking my prerogative. Honourable Leader of Opposition. I am on my feet. I am on my feet. Honourable Leader of Opposition, I am on my feet. Please. You are a seasoned politician. You know the rules of the House. It is your privilege, and I have said that several times, that it is your privilege to ask PNQ. This is your privilege, and you give. Okay? But since I had given already the floor to Honourable Ratna, and I took it back, I gave it to you. I took it back, I gave it to you. I gave you the prerogative of asking your question, but now I'm going back to Honourable Ratna, and I'll come back to you. Okay?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, can I ask the Honourable Minister of the Republic of Mauritius, in relation to part C of the question, whether there is continuing effort to ascertain the identity and number of Mauritians who are working in the estate of Qatar and Iran, and whether he can say that there has been any complaint registered from their family in Mauritius, One question at a time. Please, allow the Minister, Leader of Opposition, allow the Minister to reply and come back.
I have 2 more questions.
Yes, I give you additional time. No, I give you. Yes.
Madam Speaker, the concern of the
I had already given him the floor. Now, don't confront me.
Madam Speaker,
yes.
The concern of the honourable member is the concern of every member in this side of the House and the other side of the House. We cannot leave our nationals anywhere in a situation, Madam Speaker. And what I said is that a number of our citizens did
I'm drawing your attention once more to the fact that you are disrupting the work of the House. Yes.
Madam Speaker, what I can say is that there are a number of our nationals in Qatar have made a phone call to the Foreign Ministry to request clarifications, and they have been reassured. And we have also said that whatever, if need be, all our embassies and the high commissions are going to be there to help them. I can understand this concern.
Yes,
Speaker, I have two questions, in fact, now. Firstly, what is the Foreign Ministry doing in conjunction with the Prime Minister's office? Because there's a very real risk that in entering into a business that doesn't concern us, we are in fact importing the risk of terrorism into our country, and this is one of the reasons why the UK has upgraded our security level from low to underlying.
I think, Madam Speaker, I think this is a matter of opinion. Let me say one thing, is that we do not want to be engulfed in any issue as regards to terrorism in the Gulf. We don't want this, Madam Speaker. And as regards to how the level of insecurity as regards to the warning, trouble warning has been decided by the UK authorities, we may ask ourselves if it is not arm twisting because of the Chagos issue.
Yes, last question.
Madam Speaker, I will now talk briefly about question about economic interests. Given that there are thousands of tourists coming from Turkey, and if you look at the figures, you will see that they've been falling recently, what is government going to do to provide additional comfort and assurances to these nationals, which apparently come from countries which support tourism, according to the VPM, which have a secure mess up in terms of all sorts of ideology? What comfort and reassurance is the government doing to these citizens who want to visit Mauritius and will bring billions of rupees into this country?
Madam Speaker, we always take pride in promoting Mauritius as a safe destination for tourism. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition has been a Minister of Tourism. He has done so, I have done so. My colleague is doing so. And everything will be done to see to it that wherever we promote Mauritius as a safe haven, because it's a very important pillar of our industry. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Time is over.